Are you a Canadian interested in getting an investor visa to move your business and your family to the United States? If that's you, we're going to go over in this video what to expect right now with all the changes that are happening in immigration, so you know confidently what to do next to make this happen. I'm immigration attorney Keilani Hawks Villafranca. I have helped tons of clients just like you who are interested in starting or growing their businesses in the United States. If you're in Canada and you're thinking about getting an investor visa to move to the United States, you probably have quite a lot of questions right now. With the changes happening in the US immigration system, it can make you feel uncertain or confused. So I'm here to provide clarity about the current situation and next steps. So let's start with, what is an investor visa? The investor visa, also called the E-2 visa, allows people like you to move to the United States to run their US businesses. The visa can give you status for a very long time because you can continue to renew your visa without limitations as long as your business continues to be successful in the US. So this can be really powerful for you and your family if you're looking for a long-term move. Now, it's important to keep in mind the E-2 visa does not give you a green card. It is not a path to permanent residency, but it is a path to long-term legal status in the US and can be a great way to grow your business here. How can you qualify for an E-2 visa as a Canadian? First, you have to have a US business. Either you have a US business that already exists, or you're looking to open a new US business. Almost any kind of business can make you eligible. You can sell goods, you can sell services. As long as your business is not passive, it can work for an E-2 investor visa. What's a passive business? A passive business is one that perhaps holds real estate, invests in the stock market, things that don't really need employees, don't need full-time management, don't really have a lot of economic activity. If you think about this from the point of view of the consular official in Canada, they're being asked to look at your application and say that, yes, this will help the economy of the United States. So you need to present a business that matters, that does something, that sells a product, that offers a service, that grows. Great. But any kind of business that does that will work. So now we know you have a US business, it does something, it sells a product or offers a service, and you have to invest money in that business. This is the biggest question that my clients have. Keilani, how much do I have to invest? Which is such an important question, and it doesn't have an answer that will be true for everyone. The answer is specific to your business. There is no minimum amount of money in the law that you have to invest. What the law says is you have to invest an amount of money that is substantial. What that means for your business is that you have invested enough money to get your business up and running. So if you're going to open a facility to manufacture vehicles, you're going to need millions of dollars of investment to actually build the facility, get the machinery, hire the people. That's a huge investment needed, but that's what's needed for that business. If you're going to open a small flower shop in a rural part of the country, well, $30,000 is probably going to be more than enough to get that going. However, an important consideration is not just how much is needed for your business, but how much does the consular official want to see? This is a bit of a hidden aspect of E-2 visas because every consular official has their own set point for what they think is enough. What I like to tell my clients is that when we have a case over 100,000, assuming it's enough to run the business, that's a pretty strong case. Less than 50,000, we open ourselves up to greater risk of denial because the investment amount can be considered low. It is not necessarily, and we can file cases below 50,000 if we have a good case to make. But there's a higher risk of denial. Between 50 and 100, I like to tell my clients that's a good case if the business demands it. So if you have a service business, you're probably not going to need more than about $15,000 of investment. But if you can spend the first couple months investing more than that, hiring an employee, signing contracts for service deals that you will be paying over time, we use that higher investment amount, get you to 50 or 60, and now we have a stronger case. Even though you only need maybe 15,000 to start, you can show the consular official you've committed more and you really are committed to the success of this business. So now we can see you're eligible for the E-2 if you've opened your US business, designed your business in a way that is active and provides something to the US economy, you've invested enough money in that business, and now you're ready to apply. You have to have already invested your money before we submit your application. This is really important because this is the scariest part of the application for many clients. having to actually put their money at risk is required. It's a point of eligibility to get your E-2 visa. We have to show the consular official your money is at risk. What does it mean to be at risk? It means you've spent the money. The only way you're going to get it back is if your business is successful. It's really scary to have to spend that money before you know if your visa is going to be approved. And I understand that. I talk to clients like you every day who feel that fear, but it's important to know that that's what's legally required to be able to get the E-2 visa. Anything that you have already spent or money that you are under contract and legally required to spend can also count as your investment. Okay, so what's the process? If you want an E-2 visa as a Canadian, you first need to open a US business in any state. You need to invest in that business, and then we apply for the visa. What does it mean to apply for the visa? When you hire me, I prepare everything for you. I present the full case electronically to the US Embassy in Toronto. That's where all E-2 cases for Canadians are handled. And then we wait. The most uncertain part about the process is the government wait time. It changes all the time. Right now, in April of 2025, the E-2 visas for Canadians are taking a couple months. In the past, it has been a year or more to get an interview time after we file your E-2 visa. But right now, it's not taking very long. So now is actually a pretty good time to file this case. And that's a good transition to think about, okay, why now? There's so much uncertainty happening with the immigration world, and so it can feel scary to move forward right now with an E-2 visa application. But I want to ask you to think about it a different way, actually, because now could be a fantastic time for you as a Canadian to open your US business. With the change in tariffs and with the change in the strength of the US dollar, now might be an ideal time for you, if you're already thinking about doing this, to open your US business. You can take advantage of the change in exchange rate to be able to invest more money than you might have been able to previously, or perhaps you can get ahead of uncertainty that may be introduced in the economy of either the US or Canada by moving now to the United States. So certainly we don't know what the future will hold, but if you're already thinking about an E-2 visa, you already know you want to move your family to the United States, now is a really good time to do it. The E-2 visas are still possible. They are still being processed. They are still being approved. No changes have been made to the E-2 visas following the recent change in presidential administration. The E-2 visas for Canadians are proceeding exactly as they have been for the last few years. What that means is now is a fantastic time to apply for this visa if you're interested. I help clients understand the eligibility points and create a legal strategy for long-term success for this kind of visa. It's always better to start with a plan in mind instead of doing something first and then asking questions later. Immigration, while a fantastic opportunity, is also a complex administrative system. So I want you to start being really, really well prepared. If you'd like to talk about what that means, give me a call. 512-675-2945, or check out below this video. You can find my website, submit an email to us to ask questions, or fill out our intake form and meet for free with my assistant who can help you review eligibility for the case. And if it looks like you might be eligible, get you scheduled with me so we can do a really full deep dive into what's next. It's been a pleasure to talk to you today, and I hope to see you soon.